Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 178 based on novel. So let's start. Xiantian Santian is the territory of the Medusa clan. The golden desert looked extremely dazzling under the breeze, but in this dazzling golden desert, it was full of dangers. Beneath the golden desert, the Hall of Medusa. Today is the day when the new king of our Medusa clan ascends the throne. The one who spoke was the Shifu, who now has a prominent position in the Medusa clan. Shifu's prestige among the 9 major tribes of the Medusa clan can be described as a call to the heights. No, with Nudong's rebellion, the Avengers tribe has been removed, and at this time there are only the 8 major tribes of the Medusa family. Old Snake, you've worked hard. In the purple crystal hall, Medusa sat on the amethyst throne, and her beautiful eyes glanced at a group of strong people below. Sitting below is the leader of the 8 major tribes of the Medusa family. The queen has been conditioning her breath since she left the temple of Medusa. I don't know how she is doing now. The blue and white snake on the side said slightly. After the blue and white snake was seriously injured by Qin Tian's group, its strength regressed to the level of a 9-star Dodi, and the blue and white snake has since resigned from all positions and followed Queen Medusa with peace of mind. And this so-called Queen Medusa is actually Kaylin. Cai Lin sat in the first place, looked around with her beautiful eyes, and then said indifferently, yes. Now the strength has been consolidated. If you want to make a breakthrough, I'm afraid it will take a lot of time. As soon as Kaylin's voice filled the sky with killing intent, this killing intent was obviously aimed at Ma Wei, the powerful man sitting below. What a powerful strength. The leaders of the 8 tribes below heard the words, and their eyes became strange. Old Snake, this little doll from nowhere, whose identity is unknown. Although we have obtained the inheritance of our Medusa temple, it is not clear. It makes us surrender to her. It seems a little. One of the leaders of the 8 tribes couldn't help but said. It was the Snake King in the Snake King tribe who spoke up, and his strength had reached the level of a 4-turn 9-star Do Emperor. Hehe, this Snake King, isn't he still reconciled? My Lan said on the side. Charmlan, among the 8 major tribes, the leader of the Charm Snake tribe, the 8-star Dodi has perfection level strength. Snake King, what's your opinion? Shifu lowered his head slightly after hearing this. The Snake King was seen by Shifu, and suddenly an extremely tyrannical suppression came. Half immortal. The Snake King also knew that Shifu was a half immortal, so he said with a little difficulty. Old Snake, don't worry, I can handle it. Kaylin said slightly to Shifu at this time. Qingyang, Qinyi, wait for me, the 2 of you. Kaylin said tenderly to the 2 little guys behind her purple throne. Sister Kaylin, be careful. Qing Yang and Qin Yi said worriedly when they heard the words. Qing Yang was naturally the woman with the 3 flowered eyes that were vital to the Medusa clan, while Qin Yi, the proud son of the Medusa clan, also possessed the same ability to swallow the sky as Kaylin. The 3-color swallowing python with python blood. This crazy woman. Seeing this, the Snake King couldn't help saying as he watched Kaylin walking towards him step by step. Kaylin's figure is extremely enchanting, and in that figure that can be called a devil, there is an invisible power to kill. Snake King, do you have any objections to me? Kaylin slightly came to the garden-shaped stone table of the 8 major tribes and spoke slowly. No. With Kaylin's prestige at such a close distance, the Snake King suddenly lost his prestige. I got the inheritance in the Temple of Medusa, and I promised that senior something, so I have to provoke this lead. If I didn't need this power, I'm afraid it's none of my business whether you live or die. Kaylin stared at the 8 leaders present with a serious expression and said. So, I don't care what the Medusa clan was like before me. Now, as the queen of the entire Medusa clan, you must obey me unconditionally. Kaylin didn't bother to talk nonsense with these people, and directly fought herself. Immortal's breath and 10-color swallowing python's breath were released. A series of puffs made the 8 leaders who were present immediately kneel and worship Kaylin. Among the beasts, blood and strength are always the best means of making people surrender. Snake King, do you understand? At the next moment, Kaylin exuded an extremely terrifying aura, directly forcing the Snake King. Among the 8 chiefs, only the Snake King was extremely proud of his own strength, and Kaylin naturally knew how to deal with him. Fighting immortal powerhouse, and it's a 10-colored swallowing python with such a pure bloodline. The Snake King's breath fluctuated violently, and then he looked at Kaylin and said word by word. Understood. Facing the strength of Queen Medusa Kaylin, the 8 leaders could only speak. But don't worry, Since I have decided to be the king of the Medusa family, I will not treat you badly. The 8 of you will be able to at least reach half immortal strength in the future, but whether you can break through fighting immortals depends on your fortune. Seeing the agreement of the 8 people, Cai Lin immediately walked towards her amethyst throne and returned to the throne. Don't forget to say, half immortal. Facing what Queen Medusa said, all the 8 people present were staring at the stars. For the Medusa clan, it is extremely difficult to directly improve their strength. Don't look at these leaders now that many 8-star Do Emperors have been successful or even 9-star Do Emperors, but to break through a small level, I am afraid it will take hundreds of years. Time what the Queen said, we are naturally willing to follow. As Queen Medusa finished speaking, different expressions flashed in the pupils of the 8 people. The reason why the Medusa clan was expelled into this desert is largely because the 8 tribes are independent. If they unite the 8 tribes, it is very likely to defeat the Xianling royal family and obtain a place more suitable for them to live. Moreover, their strength, the Queen Medusa who follows the strength of Do Yan, will also be greatly improved. These 8 people are naturally understanding people, and it is only a powerful relationship among them for a while. Now that it's decided, it's time for our Medusa family to rectify it. Snake King, pass my order. Unknown or suspicious people in the clan will be killed without mercy, Queen Medusa said, and an unrivaled Xeon emanated from it. Don't go in a hurry. When you're tidying up the interior, take it slow when it's over. Next, let's figure it out first. The Xianling royal family invaded our Medusa family without authorization. How should we fight back? The next moment, Queen Medusa sat directly on the purple crystal throne, and at this time, there was also a trace of anger in Kaylin's pupils. My king Shengming. The Xianling royal family is too arrogant, they must be given a good look. The Snake King was overjoyed when he heard this. The Snake King has long been disliked by the Xianling royal family. If it wasn't for the lack of strength, he was afraid of the strong immortal fighting in the Xianling royal family. I am afraid that many tribes of the Medusa family would have joined forces to attack, but now it is different. I don't know the queen, what should we do? The Snake King asked first. Although the 9 major tribes of Medusa were indeed afraid of the Xianling royal family possessing a strong fighting immortal, they did not dare to take action, but now that they have Queen Medusa's color scales, they are no longer afraid. Although we and the Xianling royal family are already on par with the top battle strength, I think there must be a reason for the Xianling royal family to stand in Shentian for so many years. Kaylin Dai said with a slight wrinkle. It is said that the strong fighting immortals of the Xianling royal family is the father of the current Xianling king, that is, the previous Xianling king, and his strength should be at the mid-level of a star fighting immortals. At this time, Shifu said. If it is in the middle stage of 1-star fighting immortals, I have enough confidence to deal with it, and maybe I can kill it. Cai Tun heard the words and opened his mouth slightly. It's natural. The queen is already a 1-star Do Yan with the perfect strength, so it's no problem to deal with the Xianling royal family's Do Yan. But from what I've seen over the years, it seems that the Xianling royal family has some connections not only with Solomon, but also with the Soul clan. Shifu spoke slowly. Shifu's experience and information naturally know a lot. Soul clan? Kaylin frowned upon hearing this. Obviously, this extremely familiar name made Kaylin unforgettable in her life. That's right, it's that very special race. The power of this race spreads all over the Dodi Sifang continent. Although the base camp is not in our Xianling continent, the general person in charge of their Soul clan here is a genuine Dozian powerhouse. The strength should be in the late stage of 1-star fighting immortal. As for Solomon, the strongest person is Solomon's sect master, the half-immortal strength, so don't worry too much. Shifu said. The half-immortal is nothing to talk about, but if it is a middle-stage 1-star fighting fairy and a late 1-star fighting fairy, it will be a bit tricky. Cai Tun also realized that the Xianling royal family was not easy to deal with, and immediately spoke. In addition to this, the Xianling royal family has 3 armies whose strength cannot be underestimated. The Tiger Tooth Army, the Wolf Eagle Army and the Dragon-Loving Army. Among them, the strength of the Huya Legion is mostly the powerhouses above the 5-star Dodi, and there are hundreds of people. The Wolf Eagle Legion has fewer people than the Huya Legion, but most of them are actually above the 6-star Dodi. As for the Dragon Addiction Legion, although there are only 10 people, their strength is basically close to the level of the 8-star Do Emperor, and even the 9-star Do Emperor has a few people, so it should not be underestimated. The blue and white snake on the side also said. How is the power among the 8 major tribes of Medusa now? Cai Tun asked slightly after hearing this. Not counting you, Queen, excluding the powerful Xianling royal family fighting immortals, it is extremely simple for our Medusa family to defeat them. Shifu smiled. In that case, let's go down and prepare. When we are ready, we will attack the Xianling royal family. This time, I will let the Xianling royal family know the power of our Medusa family. Kaylin said. Yes. When the other 8 leaders heard the words, they immediately aroused a burst of gratitude. They knew that from now on, the Medusa clan might stand in the Shentian 3 days. Sister Kaylin, are you going to fight? Qingyang on the side heard the words and opened her mouth slightly. Obviously, Kaylin treated their 2 daughters like a loving mother, making her daughters reluctant to part with her. Don't worry, sister will be fine. It's the 2 of you, you 2 little fellows, you can't fall behind in your cultivation. Otherwise, big sister will teach you a lesson when she comes back. After the 8 leaders left, Kaylin said to the 2 little guys with a smile on her face. And the 2 little guys are also very sensible, and directly followed the blue and white snake to practice. At this time, only Shifu and Kaylin were left in the hall. Old snake, you've worked hard. Kaylin said slightly, not knowing what she was thinking. The hard work is the queen. Shifu smiled slightly. At Shifu's age, he didn't value strength and other things for a long time, and he only valued making the Medusa family stronger. Old snake, I need all the information about the Soul Clan in Shentian Santian, including the news about the person in charge of the Soul Clan. I'm going to meet him. Cai Tun still couldn't help saying. Although I don't know why, Cai Tun always felt that the mystery of the Xiao clan might have something to do with the Soul Clan. Now Xiao Yang's strength is still relatively weak. As Xiao Yang's virtuous internal assistant, he has the responsibility to help him. Queen, this matter is difficult to handle, but I will try my best. Shifu hesitated for a while, obviously puzzled by Kaylin's approach. A newly appointed queen, Shifu is ready to give her full support. The old man will retire first, and the queen has a good rest. It is estimated that in a few days, the strength of the Medusa family will be ready, and then it will be time to take revenge on the Xianling royal family. Shifu finished speaking and slowly disappeared here. Every time I see Qingyan's 2 little guys, I miss Xiao Xiao a little bit. I don't know, the little guy is okay now. Among Kaylin's cold brows, there was tenderness like water at this time. Xiao Yang, this time, when the affairs of my Medusa clan are over, and your burning incense pavilion sect competition is over, let's leave here. I feel a little homesick. After Kaylin finished speaking, she sat on the throne slightly, closing her eyes and resting. It's just that I don't know what the tyrannical Queen Medusa in the past will look like when she learns of the many women around Xiao Yang now. How are things going? In Shentian 3 days, in an unknown mountain range, in a rather dilapidated house, 2 figures slowly appeared here. One of them was dark and strange. The figure asked. Chief in charge, the Xianling royal family doesn't know why this time. They didn't give us a chance at all. It seems that they don't want to cooperate with us. Another figure said. Oh. Why is the Xianling royal family? To cooperate with our soul clan, we collect souls, and they collect resources and fame and fortune. Haven't they been good all the time? Why is this Xianling royal family? The figure called the chief officer said. Could it be Solomon? Another asked. Impossible. Sect Master Solomon's strength is only a mere half immortal. King Xianling and his father are not that stupid yet, said the person in charge of the Soul Clan. It seems that the Xianling royal family should have found a backer stronger than us. Interesting. You go back and ask the headquarters to send an immortal warrior. I always feel that something interesting will happen in Xian Santian. After finishing speaking, the head of the Soul Clan slowly laughed. Yes. Hearing the words, the figure swept out and headed towards the edge of the Xianling continent, obviously going to another continent. King Xianling, and your father, you are really interesting. However, what my Soul Clan needs is only the power of the soul. Let you be a strong backer, I am afraid that you will never imagine that the Soul Clan is strong. This time, our Soul Clan will sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight, and let's collect our souls quietly. Ha ha ha. After finishing speaking, the person in charge of the Soul Clan laughed strangely, but the figure under the black robe was somewhat illusory. Burning Incense Pavilion's highest standard conference room. Damn, didn't you say the plan was carried out with the ruins? Why are the ruins over? We haven't started action yet. Let's not talk about saving Yang Kai if this goes on. I'm afraid that guy will be in danger. Ling Mengsheng, the master of the Temple of the Earth who was sitting in it, said quite depressedly. Haha, Mengsheng, this matter is not urgent. Originally, we really wanted to enter while the Xianling royal family coveted the ruins. Do Sol dispatched other strong men, But the pavilion master came to the news. Let us wait quietly, something should have happened. Zhu Jin said slightly. What can happen? The devil of the Xianling royal family, if it blocks the way, just kill them all. Why do you need such trouble? Ling Mengsheng's hatred for the Xianling royal family can be described as a revenge for killing his wife, which is unforgettable. Mengsheng, we know your hardships, but saving Yang Kai is very important, so don't be careless. We only have one chance, so we must be fully prepared. And since the pavilion owner asked us to wait, then the pavilion owner will naturally have a solution. Zhu Laro Zaidu said. Fen Tian, that guy, I don't know what he's doing. After hearing this, Ling Mengsheng sat down slightly and waited quietly. The ruins are over. I don't know why Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying haven't come back. Mu Shuzi on the side opened his mouth slightly, obviously worried about the two disciples in their hall. This time, there are a few incredible disciples from your human palace. The old man on the side laughed when he heard the words. Obviously, when Xiao Yang broke the cultivation record in the Burning Incense Pavilion and obtained the treasure of the human palace, this guy was doomed to be extraordinary. Hey, you Heaven Palace and Earth Palace have been arrogant for so many years, and the feng shui turns, and it should be our turn. Mu Shuzi smiled slowly. Obviously he was extremely satisfied with Xiao Yang, and wanted to come to Zhong in the near future. It can shine in the door competition. I don't know where the pavilion master is now. Ling Mengsheng saw everyone talking and laughing, so he opened his mouth. And following Rimu Sheng's words, the others all looked at Zhu Jin, who was sitting next to him with doubts on their faces. Above the first place, a seat is clearly vacated, and I don't know who it is reserved for. Zhu Jin didn't say anything, just stared into the distance, as if expecting something. After a while, a fiery red figure suddenly appeared in the distance. The aura on the fiery red figure is extremely obscure, but extremely powerful, giving everyone an elusive feeling. Pavilion Master, are you back? Zhu Jin said directly as he watched the fiery red figure come to the top. Well, I'm back. I went to investigate the news. Fen Xiang said. At this time, there are some outstanding people present here, and they are also all the people who participated in this rescue plan for Yang Kai. Everyone is here, right? Fen Tian sat down slightly, then glanced around, and found that there were not only Mu Shuzi, the deputy head of the human palace, Ling Mengsheng, the deputy head of the earth palace, and Qing Lao, the deputy head of the Tian palace. In addition to Zhu Jin and the two elders of heaven and earth who have been silent, there are a total of 7 people. Most of the backbones in the Burning Incense Pavilion now, after all, although saving Yang Kai is of great importance, but for the sake of the sect, the entire army must not be attacked, and some strong people must be left to guard. Well, there are a few people who have been waiting in Xianling City for a long time, just waiting for us to go over. Zhu Jin smiled. According to the latest news I got, it seems that the dragon-loving army in the Xianling royal family has disappeared. Fen Tian said impatiently with his fiery red hair. Dragonophile Legion disappeared. Impossible. Qin Tian of the Dragon-Loving Legion is already a powerhouse at the pinnacle of Dodi, who can kill the entire legion quietly. Hearing Fen Tian's exit, Ling Mengsheng stood up directly. But it is clear. The strength of the Dragon-Loving Legion, I am afraid that as powerful as Fenshen, it is impossible to kill them in an instant. Dragonophile Legion gone. It is said that the relationship between the Dragon Addiction Legion and the Xianling King has not been very good. Qing Lao heard the words and said immediately, so from my looks, it doesn't look like it was obliterated. Therefore, I also took a look at the soul cards of the Xianling royal family. Their soul cards were not broken. Fen Tian said. Listening to Fen Tian's understatement, everyone was extremely surprised. The place where Xuanling's royal soul cards are stored, you don't need to think about it, you know that it is a place full of dangers. Fen Tian actually wants to go there. This strength is too terrifying. My current strength has surpassed that of a 2-star Dozian, but in order to confuse people, this time I will only use the perfection level of a 1-star Dozian. Fen Tian thought for a while and then said, 1-star Dozian is complete and 2-star Dozian is completely different. It is precisely because of the sudden disappearance of the Dragon-Loving Legion that we don't know why it disappeared, so for the integrity of the plan, we can only postpone the plan. However, according to my information, King Xianling seems to have sent the Dragon-Loving Legion to the ruins. Perhaps their disappearance is related to the ruins. And isn't it so easy in the ruins, so the Dragon-Loving Legion should be entangled in the ruins? Zhu Jin said. In that case, the Xianling royal family lacks the huge power of the Dragon-Loving Legion, which is a good thing for us to come. Ling Mengsheng laughed immediately after hearing this. The overall strength of the dragon-loving legion is too strong. If they are there, I am afraid that this plan will have a great change, but if they are not in the Shenling royal family, then for Fen Tian and his party, the obstruction will be reduced to a minimum. Although the dragon-loving legion is not in the Shenling royal family, we have to be fully prepared. Yang Kai wants to save, but none of you can have any loss. Do you understand? Fen Tian said coldly. Everyone here is the elite of Funxiang Pavilion. If something happened, Fenshen would be heartbroken. Understood. Several people heard the words and nodded secretly. They all knew the seriousness of this incident. Now, you can leave. Set off. Let's go to Shenling City to meet them first, and let's talk about the details later. After Fen Tian finished speaking, everyone hid their auras, and immediately disguised themselves as very ordinary people, and even their appearances had undergone tremendous changes. As soon as Fen Tian's voice fell, the 5 of them left the Funxiang Pavilion silently and went to Shenling City. However, several energy clones were left in the Burning Incense Pavilion by Zhu Jin's ingenious means. Because according to the information they got, Yang Kai seems to be imprisoned in the deepest part of the underground palace of the Shenling royal family, and to enter the underground palace of the Shenling royal family, which is heavily guarded, one must enter from Shenling City, which is why so many people have plans. And with the departure of everyone, it means that the battle that is enough to stir up the entire Shen Santian will also start slowly. Fen Tian and his party quietly left the Funxiang Pavilion and headed to Shenling City. Strange, the smell of the old guys in the Funxiang Pavilion seems to be weak and strong recently. What are they doing? Among the Shenling royal family, King Shenling sat on the throne and spoke slightly. My king, the last breath of the dragon-loving legion's people should be in a barren land. After a while, Wenzi pushed in the door and said to King Shenling, it seems that Qin Tian is not willing to be ordinary. According to the description of Solomon's sluggish aura coming out of the ruins and the origin of the blood demon, the fighting spirit should have been captured by Qin Tian. This old immortal didn't bring back the fighting spirit, perhaps with the intention of devouring it himself. King Shenling said with extreme resentment. Wenzi, send people to the wasteland, be sure to find them. The fighting spirit must not be absorbed by Qin Tian. If he is really absorbed, I am afraid that even if he is dead, he will have to spit it out for me. King Shenling said hideously. Yes. Wenzi responded and went down immediately. In the underground palace, what is my father doing? Shenling Emperor was also extremely depressed at this time. Ever since his father abdicated to become a sage, he has been guarding the 7th floor of the underground palace. The 7th floor of the underground palace is suppressing Shenyang, Yang Kai. If it wasn't for thousands of years, they didn't find a way to devour the holy flame. I am afraid that the holy flame would have been swallowed by it long ago. And where is our idiot Shenling royal ancestor? But it was sealed by Medusa's petrified pupil. The mother of the fairy body tree on the 6th floor, the Gore Fiend base camp on the 5th floor, and Ling Mengsheng's lover Shen mooching on the 4th floor. King Shenling murmured in a low voice. At this time, in the underground palace, there is a shadow on the 4th floor. The shadow is also bound and lost, but if Ling Meng is here again, you will naturally know that this is the wife that he thinks about day and night. What? As for the 5th floor of the underground palace, it is airtight here, but the aura inside is extremely evil, many figures are in deep sleep, and there are many strong blood demon. On the 6th floor of the underground palace, this is the place where the mother of the fairy body tree is stored. On the 7th floor of the underground palace, in addition to Shenling, the father of King Shenling, there is also the powerful ghost from the ghost world. The existence of this ghost immortal is extremely mysterious, hidden by Elder Shen, so even King Shenling doesn't know about it. Hey, old man Shen, this holy flame is really thorny. I don't know how you are going to deal with it, said the ghost fairy. In this way, I naturally have a way. You just need to stay here for enough time. As for the reward, I will naturally give it to you. Shen Laro said with a calm expression. Our 3 major ghost immortals, 2 of which are trying to attack you Shen Sansan, and the first to rule Shen Sansan, you have to be careful. Guizian said gloomily. Elder Shen nodded slightly when he heard the words, but he obviously didn't care about these things. The next moment, he cast his eyes on the chains that sealed Yang Kai. Even if this holy flame has been guarded for hundreds of years, there is no way to devour it. I am afraid that only the Shenling King's method, with the help of the power of swallowing the cold blood of the swallowing python, weakens the holy flame, and there is such a chance. After a while, his eyes were fixed on a silver statue swallowed by darkness. The statue was covered with moss, but it couldn't hide the horror of the statue at all. Thinking about the peak period of the statue, he was also a superpower. Shaking his head, the reason why Elder Shen is guarding here is naturally because of the ancestors of the Shenling royal family and the holy flame who were sealed by Medusa's petrified pupil. The power of these two, even if it absorbs either of them, is a huge increase for me. But after Elder Shen finished speaking, his eyes darkened. And in Shenling City, at this time, it was also heavily guarded for unknown reasons. Master. In Shenling City, in an elegant garden in the auction house, a man in black wrapped all over said directly to the woman in front of him. The woman is like a stunner, and as expected, extremely thin clothes can't hide her skin that can be broken by bullets. The woman's red lips moved slightly. Speak. Dark Knight Ghost Immortal, one of the 3 great Ghost Immortals, has already acted. The man in black said respectfully. What? Dark Knight Ghost Immortal, this fellow, actually ahead of schedule. Blood Rose heard the words and snorted coldly, her voice mixed with abnormal anger. In the ghost world, there are many strong people, but these 3 Ghost Immortals are teaming up to devour Shen Santian. Since the 3 have joined forces, they must have reached some consensus. Therefore, the attack on Shen Santian must be done after the sect competition. After all, the sect competition will greatly weaken Xuantian's strength, which will be beneficial to their future battles. What's going on with the Tomb Digger Ghost Immortal and Chenying Ghost Immortal? Blood Rose continued. The 2 of them are not moving at the moment, but they are also mobilizing their strong men. The man in black continued. I see, let's go. Blood Rose snorted coldly, and immediately sent the intelligent spy of the men in black away. Dark Knight Ghost Immortal has always been not so fancy about these things. The reason why he entered Shen Sansan in advance is probably because of the help of a certain fighting immortal in Shen Sansan, otherwise the seal that seals Ghost Realm and Shen Sansan. Not so easy to break. I don't know who is the immortal fighting powerhouse who offered the sky-high price to make the ghosts of the Dark Knight move. Xue Qiangwei couldn't help but said slowly, with a hint of sneer at the corner of her mouth. It's getting more and more interesting. After Blood Rose finished speaking, she slowly disappeared into the auction hall. And at this time, beyond the 3 days of Shen, the ghost world. What? That guy in the Dark Knight has entered Shen Sansan? In a desolate cemetery, among a tombstone, the tomb digger exclaimed in surprise. My lord, I don't know why the Dark Knight Ghost Immortal didn't keep the promise and entered Shensan Santian in advance. The Dark Crow Ghost Emperor, who was standing at the tomb digging Ghost Immortal, said helplessly. The entrance of the ghost world to Shen Santian is extremely well sealed. If it wasn't for a strong human being to fight immortals, I'm afraid this guy in the Dark Knight would not have entered so easily. Look at Chenying a little, and if he has any movement, tell me immediately. Tomb Digger Ghost Immortal thought for a while, and then spoke. Sir, are we ready to enter Shentian Santian? The Dark Crow Ghost Emperor tried to ask. He, naturally there are people who are more anxious than us. After the tomb-digging Ghost Immortal finished speaking, he smiled maliciously. Obviously, one of the 3 Ghost Immortals, the one who is most stubborn towards Shen Santian is Chenying Ghost Immortal. As expected, Chenying Guizian directly dispatched his strong men to try to open the seal in advance. However, no matter how anxious Chenying Guizian is, the entrance to the seal is guarded by strong human beings and cannot be opened for a short period of time. Squeak. At this time, in a fairly quiet wooden house in Shenling City, several familiar voices slowly appeared here. Junior Earth Hall Zhang Zhen, I've seen all the seniors. A well-proportioned man slowly pushed open the door, then looked at the many strong men in the wooden house, and immediately opened his mouth. Sit anywhere, family, you're welcome. Fen Tian sat in the center of the wooden house and said directly. At this time, in the wooden house, there are 2 old people of heaven and earth, Ling Mengsheng, the master of the Earth Hall, Qing Lao, the deputy head of the Heaven Hall, Mu Shuzi, the deputy head of the Human Hall, plus Fen Tian and Zhu Jin, there are a total of 7 people. How's it going? Seeing Zheng Zhen coming in from this hall, many strong people couldn't help but say. This Zheng Zhen is impressively the details of how the burning incense pavilion broke into the Shenling Imperial House. Pavilion Master, with my ability, I only know that there are at least 2 immortal fighters on the 7th floor of the underground palace. One is a powerhouse in the early stage of 1-star fighting immortal who was invited by the Shenling royal family at a high price, and guards the 6th floor of the underground palace. It seems that there is a price that makes people jealous in the 6th floor, so the Shenling royal family did not hesitate to at the price. We sent out fighting immortals to guard. And the 7th floor is guarded by the father of the current King Shenling, Elder Shen, and his strength has reached the middle stage of the 1-star fighting immortal. Zheng Zhen said solemnly to the people in front of him. If you are a 1-star Dozian in the early stage and a 1-star Dozian in the middle stage, I alone are enough, but I just don't know the relationship between the Xianling royal family and Solomon or other forces. Fen Tian opened his mouth slightly after hearing the words. Do not know. The Xianling royal family's attitude towards Solomon has changed drastically recently, so it will no longer have anything to do with Solomon. But according to my guess, the Xianling royal family should have found a stronger partner than Solomon. Zheng Zhen thought for a while, then spoke. What about the other powers in the underground palace? The two elders of heaven and earth said at this time. As for their strength here, the weakest is also Mu Shuzi, who has an 8-star Do Emperor consummation. As for the young and old, he is also a strong person who has stepped into the realm of rank 9. In the face of a semi-immortal strong man, he can also deal with it for a while without any problem. There are also Zhu Jin with the strength of a half-immortal and Fen Tian with the strength of a 2-star fighting immortal. The underground palace is intricate, even I know not many. But according to our current strength, if there is no accident, there should be no problem in rescuing Yang Kai. Zheng Zhen said. In that case, let's go. When the time comes, adapt accordingly. Fen Tian also knew that Fenxiang Pavilion had already dispatched a lot of power at this time. If even the small underground palace of Xianling royal family could not break through, it would be too much of a joke. Let's go, I'll take you. Zheng Zhen said, and then he directly said. Following Zheng Zhen's exit, everyone at the top of the incense pavilion nodded slightly. This guy Zheng Zhen is definitely trustworthy. After all, this guy was cultivated by the strong people in the Fenxiang Pavilion, and now his strength has reached the level of the initial stage of the 8-star Do Emperor. Zheng Zhen left the wooden house and immediately transformed himself into a high-ranking official, while Fen Tian and his group, after a simple transformation, became unrecognizable by others. Stop. With so many people around Zheng Zhen, it would inevitably lead to misunderstandings by others. When Zheng Zhen came to the gate of the underground palace, the guard called directly to Zheng Zhen. As for Fen Tian, the powerhouse, although he noticed that the strongest guard here is only at the level of the 7-star Do Emperor, but this place is very close to the Xianling royal family, and it is also the entrance to the underground palace. Is there any powerhouse secretly hiding? Hidden, so there is no rush to do it. General Feng, what's up? Even my people have to be stopped. Zheng Zhen immediately laughed when he heard the words, but when Zheng Zhen said the 3 words General Feng, his voice increased significantly. It turned out to be Lord Zheng. The man who was called General Feng by Zheng Zhen heard the words and laughed instantly. His original seriousness disappeared immediately. It is no wonder that General Feng is like this. He is at best a thug of the Xianling royal family, but Zheng Zhen in front of him is different. This guy is not only young, but also outstanding in strength and appearance. He is deeply loved by Xianling King. Doted on, and King Xuanling's little princess is also very close to him, so the future is naturally unlimited, and General Feng does not dare to offend this character if he has 10 courage. I don't know why Master Zheng came here today. General Feng glanced at so many people behind him, and immediately couldn't help but ask. At the will of my king, come to the underground palace to take something. Zheng Zhen lowered his voice slightly and said in a tone that only General Feng could hear. It doesn't take so many people to fetch things. General Feng was shocked. Although the strength of the people in front of him was mediocre, General Feng's intuition for many years, these people are definitely not simple. The thing is a bit big, so my king just sent me some people to carry it. Zheng Zhen seemed to have expected it a long time ago, and he said it without hesitation. Master Zheng, Xianling City is in a troubled season recently. You can enter alone, these people. I can't put it on, I'm sorry. General Feng hesitated for a while, and said directly through gritted teeth. Zheng Zhen in front of him really couldn't afford to offend him, but if he let these people in rashly, I'm afraid something went wrong, and his fate would be. Don't worry, I won't embarrass you. Zheng Zhen didn't want to get angry with General Feng. After all, he knew that General Feng also acted impartially. Here. Not much. Zheng Zhen took out a golden token directly from the palm of his hand. Above the token, there is a slowly surrounding golden color, and above the golden token, a conspicuous mysterious character stands quietly. As soon as the token came out, General Feng's face became extremely strange. It's actually King Xuanling's gold medal. General Feng was extremely shocked. The group of them is to serve King Xianling, and King Xianling said that seeing this token is like seeing King Xianling himself. Hey, Master Zheng. Everyone, please. After a while, General Feng said with a smile. Since this group has the token of King Xianling in their hands, there must be no suspicion and they will let them go. Zheng Zhun directly led the group into the underground palace, but when everyone was about to enter the underground palace, Fen Tian, who had changed his face, suddenly gave a weird laugh. Strange, the token that flashed just now is clearly King Xuanling's gold medal. What's wrong? General Feng shook his head, and then started to patrol slowly, and Fen Tian and his party went well into the underground palace. This video will end here.